Hey everybody, Mr. Regan here. And if you're watching this video, it's because we're going to be breaking down how we're going to be reviewing and revising our task 1 reflection question that we did for the very beginning of our 7.00 modeling activity. Now, before we get into that, I do want to kind of review kind of where we're at as of today and what we're focusing on for this activity, this ongoing activity. So let's begin. At the start, you guys were introduced to this big focus question at the very beginning of our entire unit. Why are the newts becoming more poisonous over time? And now, as we've gone through all the chapters, we've looked for answers and reasoning as to why this is happening. And at this point, you guys have done a lot to really improve your writing and improve your thinking and to get your ideas down in many different ways, whether it's in our slides or amplify as to what's going on. But for this activity, it's all about modeling, and we're going to be using our model that you've seen and are seeing here. And we're going to be using digital resources to model how the newt population has changed over time. So for the response, you're obviously writing your answer to this question. But for the model, you're showing your answer to the question, which is going to be very different. Now, you modeling this is based on our before, during, and after model. And you know this. You've seen this model before. We have this distant population of newts here. And these newts represent the very first histogram that we've been looking at over time. This population here represents not only the variations we see, but the distribution and the environment as well that they lived in. And we know that during some passage of time, our population has changed. And this population in present day represents our population over here in our histogram, not only the variations and distributions we see, but also the environment. But what we don't know is what's going on in the middle. And hopefully, now that we've completed chapter 1 and chapter 2, we not only have an answer that we can write out, but an answer that we can model in this middle section. And that's what we're doing today. But now we're going to be editing the writing portion to start for why our newts are changing. So let's take a look at what you did. So in the 7.00 model, you started by rewatching the video and, of course, writing your response. This was all based on what you knew from chapter 1. You then went through, we broke down how to create your model, we gave you some digital resources, and then you guys dove into chapter 1 here and created your model. But today, you're going to not only be revising your writing, but you're also going to be moving on to find your chapter 2. And now you're going to be creating a chapter 2 model. And we'll talk about that more in later videos. But for now, let's talk about how we revise our reflection here. So up to this point, we've looked at not only a lot of key concepts, but also a lot of different vocabulary. Excuse me. And today, in order to improve our writing, we're going to need to really look at including some new things that maybe we didn't before to make sure that our response includes not only what we learned from chapter 1, but also from chapter 2. And that's where our slideshow here gets us started. So up to now, we've reviewed the checklist. You're obviously watching this video, and now task 3 is where you are going to go in and make sure that you have everything you need in your reflection to really explain what's going on with our newts. So when we revise our reflection, you guys are going to need to make sure we include all of the vocab you see here. If you're a little unsure what the words are or need to double check what they mean, you can always use the Quizlet link there. Otherwise, we need to make sure these words are found in our answer. The second thing we can look at is our newt phenomenon video if we need, our newt population histogram, and last but not least, our newt deadly dare article. All of these things are important for us to not only make sure we have a clear understanding of what's going on with the newts, but also that we communicate that in our writing. So at this point, your task 3, you should be going into here and making sure, do I have all these vocab words? Did I include all the big ideas that I saw in the article, in the histogram, in the video? Can I see those things in my writing? Okay, you might need to hop back and forth between what you wrote and what you see. This is a good opportunity to split screen, but we need to analyze what did I write before and what do I need to add. If you're unsure of what you need to add or fix, your vocab list will help you, along with skimming through your article, your histogram, and your video. This task should take you as long as you need to revise and as long as you need to double check your work. If you are understanding how we revise our reflection based on our model, then obviously we're ready to move on. If we're a little unsure of how to revise our reflection or how to use our digital resources, or maybe both, make sure you meet with me. Okay. Otherwise, you're good to move on to task 3. Make sure you double check your work, complete your reflection, and then move on from there. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.